So, you did it. You landed the job, you put in the hours, and you're waiting for that first glorious paycheck to drop into your account. It's an awesome feeling, right up until you see the actual number. And you think, wait a second. Well, let's solve this little mystery, shall we? Figuring out your pay stub isn't just about crunching numbers. It is genuinely one of the first and I'd say most important smart money moves you can possibly make. It's like level one of adulting. So let's get it done. Okay, let's just imagine a quick scenario. You did the math in your head, right? You work 20 hours, you make a pretty solid 15 an hour, so 20 times 15, that's a nice clean $300. You're probably already thinking about what you're going to spend it on. But then the notification hits your phone, and it's $245. Hold on. What happened? Did they mess up your hours? Is your boss cheating you? Nope. Welcome to the wonderful world of paychecks. You've just met your first deductions. To solve this whole thing, we've got to learn two key terms. These two phrases are going to be on every single paycheck you get for the rest of your life, so let's break them down. So on one side, you've got your gross pay. That's the big, shiny number, the $300 you earned before anybody got their hands on it. Then on the other side, you've got net pay. This is the real deal. This is your take-home pay. It's what's left after all those deductions are taken out. And deductions is really just a fancy word for the money that goes to things like taxes. And this is absolutely crucial. Your net pay is the only number that matters when you're making a budget. It's the actual cash that's yours to spend or save. So please, always base your plans on your net pay, not your gross pay. Okay, so if your gross pay was $300 and your net pay was $245, where in the world did that missing $55 go? It's time to identify the usual suspects. Generally, that missing money gets split up and sent to three main places: the federal government, your state government, and this mysterious thing called FICA. Try to think of federal and state taxes like your membership fee for living in the country. Federal taxes pay for the really big picture stuff, the military, national highways, that kind of thing. State taxes handle the more local stuff like your schools, the police, and fixing potholes. And here's a fun little tidbit. If you live in a state like Texas, Florida, or a few others, you actually pay zero state income tax. Now you're looking at your pay stub, you see the taxes come out, and then you see this line item for FICA. And you're probably thinking, who on earth is FICA and why are they getting a cut of my money? It's a totally fair question. Well, FICA isn't a person, it's a law. It stands for the Federal Insurance Contributions Act. And that money goes to fund two huge programs, Social Security and Medicare. It's how the country takes care of its elderly and retired citizens. The way it works is actually pretty interesting. It's kind of a big cycle. Right now, as a young worker, the money you pay into FICA is helping to support your grandparents' generation. It's like a social promise. The idea is that when you're older, the next generation of workers will be paying into the system to take care of you. Okay, so how do they even figure all this stuff out? How does your boss know how much tax to take? Well, it all comes down to a couple of really important and, kind of confusing forms. Let's follow the paper trail. This slide really nails the difference. Just think of it this way. The W-4 is the plan. You fill that out on your first day of work, and it tells your employer how much money to withhold or set aside for taxes from every paycheck. Then, at the end of the year, the W-2 is the receipt. It's the official summary of everything you earned and all the tax you paid for the whole year. And now we get to the best part of this whole mystery, the twist ending. Because after all this money is taken out, there's actually a really good chance you're going to get some of it back. And here's why that happens. The automatic tax system is kind of set up assuming everyone works a full-time, 40-hour-a-week job all year long. But since most young people are working part-time or maybe just for the summer, that system usually ends up taking out too much money from your paychecks. So what happens? You get that tax refund. When you use your W-2, your official receipt, to file your taxes in the spring, the government basically looks at everything and says, oh, whoops, looks like we took a little too much. And then they send you a check for the difference. Now, it's super important to remember this. A tax refund is not a bonus. It is not free money from the government. It's just them giving you back your own money that you overpaid. It's literally like paying for something that costs $15 with a $20 bill and getting your $5 back in change. So there we have it. The case of the missing paycheck money is officially closed. Let's just do a quick rundown of the key clues we uncovered. Okay, so remember, gross pay is the big number you earn, but net pay is the real number you actually keep. Seeing deductions for taxes and FICA is totally normal. Your W-4 is the plan you set up at the start. Your W-2 is the receipt you get at the end. And the best part, you'll probably get some of that money back as a tax refund. From now on, when you get that pay stub, don't just glance at the final number and toss it. Take a second, actually read it. See where your hard-earned money is going. Understanding this is, for real, the first step to being in control of your financial life. But hey, this is just the beginning. You've cracked the code on your paycheck, you've solved your first big money mystery, so the only question left is, what's your next smart money move going to be?